Hi folks, this video is meant to be a quick overview of the NITARP Cool Wiki, the broad overview of what we have and where to find it. So historically, this wiki was developed primarily because we needed a way to easily share information that we were developing to teach each other and to teach the students that were involved in the program. So in order to have a working area, a place for people to drop off files and continue to develop, say, the proposal or the posters, but also to share the somewhat finished products that were sort of lessons or exercises or worksheets to try to capture that information so that it didn't have to be reinvented for every new team. So this is the NITARP Cool Wiki main page. You can always get back here by clicking on the logo in the upper left. The sidebar, at least the top part, always stays the same too. This also takes you back to the main page every time. There's a research tools area. That's the place where we keep the lesson plans and the worksheets, the lab exercises that we've already developed that are already sort of coherent lessons. The current research area leads you into one page per team, both past and present teams. If you go to pages associated with current teams, you'll find that the teams are actively working. They're actively uploading files and actively trying to develop their work and understand what's going on. At any time, you can also see what's recently changed on the wiki by going to the recent changes link. You can also use the search box to find all sorts of things on the wiki. So if we go first to the research tools area, you can see some of the sort of more coherent thoughts that we have developed for teaching each other and teaching our students. So it starts at the very beginning, such as what is a mosaic and why should I care? But then it also goes into some more sophisticated things, and because this is a work in progress, you'll find that some things don't completely exist. For example, how do I download data from IRSA, NET, or NSET is pretty skeletal right now. There's really only that paragraph. But there's also more advanced things too. How do I make a color composite? How do I do a literature search? Then there's more advanced research tools as well, getting into some more sophisticated information such as photometry and units and SED plots and the like. There's also information here on making mosaics using a software package called Montage, stuff on Kepler and Corot data, an entire chain of analysis for star forming region, information on variable stars, information on active galactic nuclei. So there's lots and lots of information in here. The other main section, as I said, was the current research section. Now here you can find a section for each one of the teams, past and present. So the three teams that we have for 2011 are Star Formation and Bright Rimmed Clouds, Team Redshift, and Period Pontificators. So each one of these teams has a page within the wiki in which they're actively working and actively collecting information and sharing information and questions about what they're doing. Some of the teams that have already finished, such as Young Stars and IC 2118, I mean, that team was one of the original Spitzer Project teams, and so there's a lot of information in there, but it may be somewhat difficult to understand because it was something that this team developed as they were working. And so the pages kind of grew organically to meet their needs at the time. So if you try to just wander into it, it may not be organized as well as you might do right now if you had all that information. That's sort of the pluses and minuses of the wiki. It does, especially for these active projects, it tends to grow organically and meet the needs of the teams that are using the wiki at the time. So if you're starting at the beginning, I would say spend some time in the research tools section and see what's available. See if you can follow some of the examples, see if you can understand some of the things that are being discussed. In many cases, there are questions to think about, and in many cases, there might even be some discussion about some of the answers. This is the same software that Wikipedia uses, and so you'll see at the top here, this is the page or the article that you're looking at. This tab here leads to a discussion about the content that you're looking at. Now in this case, this link is red, so that's how you know that that page doesn't actually exist. Wikipedia has, millions of users, so they have a lot of discussion about each one of their articles. We only have maybe 100 users, so we don't have discussion about every single page, but some of these, especially where there are questions to answer and things to think about, there might actually be discussion. See, questions to think about and things to try with data at other wavelengths. Sometimes there may be discussion from students that have gone through. We haven't really taken advantage of the discussion pages as much as we might, but that's that's how you use them. That's how you know whether or not there's discussion there. Because in this case, it's red. There's nothing there. If it's actually a blue link, then there might actually be real discussion there. So just as a closing thought, there's a lot of information on this wiki. And I find that I myself use the search box all the time to find the things that I need. So if I can't remember exactly where the units page is, I'll type in units and it'll take me there. If I type in something that doesn't match the name of a page, like maybe I want to see where all of the pages are that mention Spitzer, it'll give me, it says, oh, there's no page titled Spitzer, but here are all the pages that include the word Spitzer. And usually from the search box, I can find the page that I need within the hierarchy.